water? I'm just going to go and ask Zoobies if they've got water. Maybe they can fill my kettle. Hooray! Zoobies to the rescue! Hello, welcome to another video from the Sheffield Maker Shop. If you don't know what the Sheffield Maker Shop is, you see me in here all the time, you might think it's mine. It's not. It's a kind of collective of independent Sheffield makers. We all contribute, or most of us contribute to the staffing of the shop as well. Not everyone can staff the shop, but it is staffed by the people who stock here, which is a really nice thing. Like for customers to see who's made the products that they're buying. I think it's a really nice touch. And I staff in here, so a lot of my videos are from here because I'm doing a daily vlog, and this is part of my daily time. It's a really nice place to come because there is a cafe outside, and I get, in the quiet times when all the jobs are done, I get to draw those people. Oh, amazing. The lady I was drawing has just gone, so I'm going to wait for some new offerings at the cafe tables, and then let's do some sketching together. Anyone that's watched me for a little while in here will probably have heard me say this, but it is worth repeating that if you are sketching, if you're trying to fill a sketchbook and you're trying not to be like self-conscious about it, you just want to get some practice down, remember that drawings are like pancakes. Okay, so if you've ever made pancakes, you'll know that your first few pancakes don't look like pancakes. They are stuck to the pan, they're all wobbly, you try and flip them, they're still wet inside, and that's part of the process. Every time I've made pancakes, I never get a good pancake first time. And it's all part of making sure your pan's the right temperature, making sure your mix is the right consistency, and you don't know that until you test it. And it's the same with sketching. Your first page, 2 pages, 3 pages maybe, are going to be full, if not just like in part, your first pancakes. So they might look good, but they might not be what you've intended to. So this lady here, the yellow one, very rough, not how she looks at all. Back in the day, I would have ended there. It would have been like, right, first one, I can't draw, that's it. But you're never gonna learn from your mistakes if you don't make any mistakes. So I'm actually really pleased with this first page of drawings, but especially this one didn't turn out as I wanted, so previously I might have given up there. But this is my first pancake, and it's fine. It's completely fine to make mistakes. If you never get past your first pancake, you're never going to know what part of your pancake mix needs adjusting. You know, you're not going to know if your pan needs to heat up, or, you know, basically you need to get your eye in, and you need to give yourself that grace to get past the things that you don't like, so you can eventually find things that you do like. And I know this page of sketches might not be the best example because I actually really like all of them, but it doesn't always work that way. This colour, this Helio Blue Reddish 151 in the Polychromos, was new to me. I got it in Hobbycraft the other day when they had a sale on the Polychromos, which are my favourite pencils, and I'd never tried this before, and the colour just spoke to me, and it has not disappointed. I think it might be a bit, it could be a bit darker if I pushed harder. I'm being really light to get some nice texture in that hair and the clothes. But yeah, I think this is a favourite in my pencil roll now. I've got that order coming from Jackson's, maybe tomorrow, maybe today, but that's got a few new colours to me in it as well. So when I get that, we'll do some swatching and we'll have a look and see if there are any more delicious colours for me to use. But I call that lunchtime, so I'm going to get another cuppa. There are a lot of people out there to draw at the moment and nobody in the shop. I've been working on this because there was a lack of people in the cafe. It's just from a photo that I found off a cat shelter website, and it was going to get finished at home because I didn't have any white. I thought I'd brought a thin white pen, and the whiskers are thicker than I'd like, but all that I had was my Posca pen. And while this is very, very thick, I did have a thinner water brush, so I just used the water brush on the pen and then like painted onto it. So I brushed the Posca with my water brush and then used it on the whiskers. It is, like I said, the whiskers are a bit fat, but it's a sketchbook, who cares? But I do think those bits of light in the eyes really bring it alive. Okay, so I'm just sketching in the last kind of 45 minutes. There's a few people outside. And I just wanted, I realised actually when I was filming that I was holding my pencil differently to how I write when I was drawing. So I don't know if you do this, but when I write like that, pencil grip. And when I draw, sometimes I draw like this. And I've only started developing that, or I'll draw like that, and sometimes I'll draw like this. And I think I've started to do that because it makes my drawing a bit more wobbly. It kind of, I sacrifice like 10% of control, and in that I sometimes, not always, sometimes get a bit more character. So that is maybe potentially a tip for you. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing for me, but it seems to work. I've realised that I do it more and more. I'm either holding my pencil up at the top, or like this, or like this, instead of like I would if I was writing. And I feel like it gets my arm involved more rather than it just being my hand. Because when you're writing like this, it tends to be just hand, like just your hand for doing the kind of fine motor skill stuff. But when I'm doing this, my whole arm's getting involved, so it feels more fluid, feels more like expressive. So yeah, if you're having trouble, try it. I suppose it's similar to when people do non-dominant hand drawing. If you've never done that, that's a good one to do. Really, it really kind of loosens you up and messes with, you know, your expectations. So if you're normally a right-hander, draw with your left hand. If you're normally a left-hander, draw with your right hand. And I suppose that's a similar kind of thing. Like, it takes away the control and it adds a sprinkle of spice.